Hey. Welcome back to Kiki with Shishi. Today, I thought we'd start the Cancer Chronicles. Um, Not scary stuff, because I don't do scary stuff. But the purpose of the Cancer Chronicles is multiple. One is I have a huge family, people all over the place. The oldest grandchild of about 30, and I have multiple aunts and uncles and family scattered around the country. So I figured that if I could put some information in a video diary, people can read it at their own pace and understand what I'm going through. Another reason why I thought I'd start the Cancer Chronicles is just to maybe get out some of the things that I've been going through, and maybe it would help somebody else. I know when I started a couple of treatments, there was a couple of vloggers or YouTubers that helped me out a lot, which in future videos, when I talk about those particular treatments, I will link them in if I can. I'm still learning this YouTube business, so we'll grow together. Um, the other reason why is to just be able to um, help others and to be able just to kind of clean out my own cancer closet of the things that I have in my mind and then I wanted to get out. Um, Not so much on paper because paper is just for me, but for others to see and quickly, easily access. So today we'll talk about the type of cancer I have and some of the symptoms. Um, and then in future videos, we'll talk about how I was diagnosed, and we will talk about some of the treatments that I've gone through. Um, as with the past video, I don't want these videos to be too long, but I just want to share a couple of nuggets of information and just have some real talk because I'm a real girl. I like to be real. And maybe you guys can give me some feedback on your thoughts, or if you've known anybody with this particular cancer, or if you've gone through different cancers of your own and some things that have helped you, or information pieces that we can share amongst each other. So, the type of cancer that I have is called Intrahepatic Cholangiocarcinoma, which really just means that the cancer tumor is underneath the lining of my liver, but it started from the bile ducts. And if you're unaware of what the bile ducts do, the bile ducts are kind of um, another process for when you eat, flushing out all of the toxins that are in that food so that your body can process the good nutrients. And so the intrahepatic cholangiocarcinoma, I know, a huge mouthful. Um, I can now say it very fluently, but that is my primary cancer. And because one of the tumors ended up on my liver cancer is my secondary cancer. So one grows from the bile duct, one, and then the other, since it lands or lives on my right lobe of my liver, then the liver cancer is a secondary cancer. I do have multiple cancers. I have about three that they're tracking now. One is in my gallbladder area. The biggest one is the right lobe, which kind of crosses over to the left lobe of my liver and touches my stomach lining. And then there are a smaller one that they're tracking. I have a lot of even smaller tumors, but they're not really big enough to be tracked, which is good. And I do have a couple of lymph nodes that have cancer on them, so they're tracking those as well. And I do this because the lymph nodes are in my sternum. I figured that out when I woke up from a surgery, and my sternum hurt like nobody's business. We'll talk about that when we go back to um, the treatment and the things that they had to do to diagnose my cancer. So I was diagnosed with this cancer July of about 2017. Um, the types of things they said that were Symptoms of this cancer, I really had none. Um, they said that the symptoms of this cancer are jaundice, which, yes, I'm a pecan tan, but I didn't really have any jaundice. My eyes weren't yellow. I didn't have any extreme itching. I didn't have any rashes. Um, and that's the strange thing about this cancer. This cancer is a very rare cancer. Um, about 10% of the liver cancers or bile duct cancers are intrahepatic. So it's very hard to diagnose until you get to certain places. Um, Other symptoms include a tan stool, um, or dark urine, or being exhausted. That was about the only um, symptom I had, but I didn't take it for being cancer because I am, as the doctor put it, in my fourth decade. I am a mother of a 16-year-old, a mother of an 8-year-old. I am a wife to a military man. I had a very demanding job, which in 2016, I traveled a lot with that job, um, supporting a number of elections, which supporting an election in the final word comes down to what you've done in your job is a little stressful. Um, some marriage issues, but you don't get to 30 years without having some marriage issues. So when they said, are you tired? My answer was, duh. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm also anemic, which I've been since I had my first child. So those things really were not big clues for us. Um, so this cancer, really, the symptoms of it, when you get to itching, when you get to jaundice, when you get to the dark stool, it's really late stage cancer. So for the record, just because that's what they want to write on paper, I am stage 4. However, I don't take really the stages into consideration. I don't take, their span of lives into consideration because I know that I belong to God and God will stage it and God knows what man doesn't know. So I hold no fear in that regard. Um, when they said I had the cancer, my question was, okay, so what's next? What are we going to do to start fighting this? Because I won't lay down and just take it. We got to do something. Um, this cancer is considered to be a cancer for actually older males. Strange thing is they're seeing a lot of younger individuals, excuse me, be diagnosed with this cancer. A lot of females be diagnosed with this cancer. So um, they're starting to think that maybe it's something in artificial foods and processed foods and things of that nature. I wish I could tell you that I immediately started changing that, but um, one of the things I did to kind of grip with it is eat. I know that's surprising, but I did start eating just because I thought that's what my comfort is, and so I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna research, and I'm gonna get ready to fight. This is also the cancer that Walter Payton had. Um, he was waiting for a liver transplant. Unfortunately, when he passed, I am not to the stage of needing a liver transplant. Um, I still have some chemotherapy and some other treatments to go through, which we will talk about the treatments and things like that in future videos. I do have note cards because my sister said it would help kind of keep me on track. So if you see me flipping, I'm just going through my note cards. Shout out to my beastie for helping me keep my mind in the place that I need to be. So what did I have if I didn't have any of those symptoms? And I apologize. Fresh out the shower, so I seem to be having um, a little bit of a heat stroke, not heat stroke, but a hot flash. Excuse me. Um, I did wash my hair. It's quite curly. All I did was wash it with that Maui, which I kind of like. I like the smell of it. And I just threw in some Africa's Best oil, and I put in some Shea Moisture Black Jamaican castor oil leave-in conditioner, and bam. I like it. In other videos, we'll talk about natural hair because that is one of my uh, one topic that's kind of close to my heart about just being natural and being yourself and curly hair. Um, I kind of like my hair short now, but it's growing to a point where it's kind of an awkward stage. But, anyways, I digress. So, we were talking about if I didn't have any of the symptoms of the jaundice, um, I did have some tiredness. But what I did have is I had a friend whose granddaughter went into the hospital because she felt a little lump on her side, and it ended up being a mass in her kidney. And so I started thinking, well, I have had this like tennis ball mass on the side of my right side that only appears when I lay down. So I had to go to the doctor's office just for some routine things, some blood pressure, whatnot. And I said, hey, while I'm here, can you just take a look at this mass? And she felt the mass and she sent me on a string of tests. And that is how my tumor was discovered. So, um, that's it for really talking about some of the symptoms and talking about this particular cancer. Like I said, I will try and link more information about the particular cancer in the info section. When we come back, I will talk about how the diagnosis came about with all the testing. There's lots of testing and some kind of funny stories in there. And then I will also talk about in future videos some of the treatments that I've gone through. I'm in my second treatment, going good, but we'll talk about that when we come back. And so, this is the part where I get to remind you to like, comment, share, and subscribe so you can see what's next. I'll kind of be running two lines. I'll do the Cancer Chronicles as one line, and then for right now, some of everything else in the other line, because I have some thrifting things that I want to show you guys since I've been doing that. I have some craft projects that I want to share with you guys, maybe get an opinion. I also have some natural hair things I want to talk to you guys about. Um, so we have lots to kiki about. Anyways, it's time for me to sign off of here and to get my rest. Um, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye bye.